So I sort of get what the point of this is. We're designating pedestrian malls for usage going forward. That'll happen a lot more. We hope it's a very positive thing. Algoma Alley is one that I was involved with deeply, and I'm hopeful to make an amendment, if council will hear me on this, to include on item C that Algoma Alley is also in possession of overhead lights. I think that's a defining characteristic of that. I think it's a valid thing to call out with regards to what makes it different and why it's a pedestrian mall. It affects what goes on underneath it and so on and so forth, so there's some right-of-way provisions there. I am not intending to add that to show that that was able to be done or to in any way show that there's a process to get lights hung in an alley. Just think it's worth noting in this case that that is a distinguishing part of that thing, because that's kind of what this is for.
The designation of a pedestrian mall, it's in our traffic section, it's under a statute that's really geared toward, you know, what happens with vehicles and pedestrians and how those are used. The concerns I have with adding the lights in this, for this particular one, we have agreements with the property owners, so the lights are attached to private buildings, and those agreements can be canceled by the property owners, they can be canceled by us if the use of the alley changes, or if they just don't want the lights attached to their building anymore. Adding it in, I guess, would make me question, is that then something that's required? The ordinance is really directed at what are you going to allow in terms of like traffic and vehicle use for it, and that's why it's in the traffic code portion of our ordinances. The other thing is that if the owners would change and if we wouldn't have permission anymore and we want to take the lights down and we have to change the code, putting it into this section would probably be, and I'm going to just take a shot, maybe a 2-month process to change, because pedestrian mall ordinances have to go through plan commission and then council, so it's just something that's a process.
That's what was my concern. So I think it was a valid motion, Larson, but I think I'm going to be against it.